What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL playoffs, wild card round, Monday Night Football.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon
so you don't miss our new videos.
Okay guys, in this video, I'm going to give you my top DFS picks for this Monday Night Football showdown between the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, let's take a look at the quarterback position. I like Matthew Stafford from the LA Rams playing the Arizona Cardinals, who have a good defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford has averaged 21.8 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 1.9 rush attempts per game. He's going to be about 73% owned, projected at 20.4 fantasy points here on this Monday Night Wild Card Showdown. And he's 10,800 DraftKings salary. Vegas thinks there's going to be 49.5 points scored in this game, with the Rams favored by 3.5. So Matthew Stafford is 10,800 and Kyler Murray is 11,200. Now, really, I think it's a coin flip here. Kyler Murray, he's averaging 22.8 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's got that rushing floor. He rushes the ball an average of 6.3 times per game, compared to Matthew Stafford at only about 2 times per game. And Kyler Murray's only going to be about 31% owned, and he is only 400 more DraftKings salary. So really, I like both of the quarterbacks on this slate. It's a coin flip to which one of these guys is going to score more fantasy points. But I think I do prefer Matthew Stafford here versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. I like James Conner from the Arizona Cardinals playing the LA Rams, and James Conner has averaged 17.2 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 13.5 rush attempts per game and 2.6 pass targets per game. He's going to be about 39% owned, projected at 17.2 fantasy points here on Monday night, and he's 9,400 DraftKings salary. So James Conner scored 27 fantasy points in his last game off of 15 rush attempts and 6 pass targets. Now, he was injured towards the end of the season, but he is all healed up now and good to go. And the last 2 games versus the Rams, he scored 34 and 21 fantasy points. So I like James Conner here versus the LA Rams. Okay, now for the LA Rams, you got Sony Michel, and he is 7,800 DraftKings salary, and he scored 6, 19, and 24 fantasy points in the last 3 games with some pretty decent volume here. Actually, fantastic volume. He rushed the ball 21, 19, and 27 times in the last 3 games, up and on top of 4, 5, and 4 pass targets. So tons of volume. He scored 6, 19, and 24 fantasy points in his last 3 games. He's going to be about 49% owned, and I like this low price tag, so I like Sony Michel here versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now, if you do want to save some salary at the running back position, I think this is somewhat of a risky play because you just don't know how many touches he's going to get with a healthy James Conner in there. But take a look at Chase Edmonds from the Arizona Cardinals. He's averaging 12.3 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 9.7 rush attempts per game, 4.4 pass targets per game, going to be about 20% owned, projected at 12.3 fantasy points here tonight. So he's only 5,000 DraftKings salary. So based on his projection of 12.3 fantasy points, that does make him a value play here on the slate at the running back position. So I think if you need to go there, if you want to fit some other guys into your lineup, I think he's a decent play here tonight. So I like Chase Edmonds as a value play here at the running back position here versus the LA Rams.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. So the reason I mentioned that Chase Edmonds value play is because if you want to fit this stud into your lineup, you're going to have to sacrifice at some of the salary at your other positions here. I like Cooper Kupp from the LA Rams playing the Arizona Cardinals, who have a good defense overall. They give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Cooper Kupp has averaged 27.8 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 11.2 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 94% of the snaps, going to be about 42% owned, projected at 28.5 fantasy points here tonight. He's 13,000 DraftKings salary, so super expensive, but he's got a great matchup here, and he scored 30, 22, and 24 fantasy points in his last 3 games off of 7, 7, and 13 pass targets. So I like Cooper Kupp here versus the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, now coming down off of Cooper Kupp, the rest of the salaries at the wide receiver position are pretty reasonable here. So I like Christian Kirk from the Arizona Cardinals, and Christian Kirk has averaged 12.4 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 6.1 pass targets per game. He's going to be about 47% owned, so it does look like he's going to have the most ownership on the slate at the wide receiver position. He's projected at 12.1 fantasy points, and he's only 7,000 DraftKings salary. He scored 6, 14, and 12 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 3, 9, and 9 pass targets. So I like Christian Kirk here versus the LA Rams. Now, possibly my favorite wide receiver on the slate, and it's because he's got a fantastic cornerback matchup here tonight. So I like Odell Beckham Jr. from the LA Rams, who's averaging 9.2 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 5.9 pass targets per game. He's going to be about 37% owned, projected at 9.4 fantasy points here tonight. He's 6,800 DraftKings salary, and he scored 4, 15, and 14 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 5, 7, and 8 pass targets. So if they double cover Cooper Kupp, and they don't want Cooper Kupp to beat him, that's going to open up a lot of pass targets and a lot of big yardage for Odell Beckham Jr. here versus the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. I like Zach Ertz from the Arizona Cardinals playing the LA Rams, who have a good defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing tight ends. Zach Ertz has averaged 10.6 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 6.6 pass targets per game. But he's got quite a bit of volume the past 3 games. Got 10, 9, and 13 pass targets the last 3 games. Scored 15, 11, and 13 fantasy points. He's going to be about 45% owned, projected at 9.9 fantasy points here tonight. He's 6,200 DraftKings salary. So I like Zach Ertz here versus the LA Rams. Now for the LA Rams, the tight end you got is Tyler Higbee. And he's averaging 9.8 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 5.7 pass targets per game. He's going to be about 36% owned, projected at 9.6 fantasy points here tonight. He's 5,400 DraftKings salary. And Tyler Higbee has scored 24, 13, and 9 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 8, 9, and 6 pass targets. So I like Tyler Higbee here versus the Arizona Cardinals.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.